Good evening. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to sit down to listen to me about my proposal that could possibly help the company with advancing in the future. I just want to start with this quote. It's by Alfred Edward Perlman. It states, "After you've done a thing the same way for 2 years, look it over carefully. After 5 years, look at it with suspicion, and after 10 years, throw it away and start all over again." This kind of relates to the company because we've been open in business for over 50 years, and the mission plan or the goals are true to what you guys started or what you wanted to do when you first started. But I think with the demand and the way that customers and supplies are different these days, I think we should start a new mission statement and start a new game plan. Now, I know we've been growing a lot the last couple of years. This last year we grew 125%. So with that opportunity there, you only have 3 drivers taking all the demand. So the opportunity there is to hire more couriers, which will in turn cause you to cover more territory and increase your sales furthermore. Currently, BRM has three couriers that are responsible to physically bring the product through the doors of BRM. That means 3 couriers. They go out every morning. They pick up documents, shredding. They are the face of the company on a daily basis. Also, with these 3 couriers, the routes are getting longer and the distances are getting longer. So that means that's more time on the roads, more overtime. Average overtime in a week per courier is 6 hours. That's due to high demand, and we don't have the resources to really manage the demand that we're receiving. So that means the company's paying out 18 hours of overtime roughly every week. Also, if one driver calls out of work, it puts stress on the rest of the company to find a warehouse worker to replace their driver for the day. So you're pretty much just moving parts around, and you're matching parts around that really don't fit together pretty well. Key success factor, BRM needs to understand that in today's time, it's not just to have a purpose for existing. Yes, you do provide a service that you are really good at. The management has to focus on companies' resources for the greatest opportunities in which change daily, weekly, or monthly. Biggest takeaway from that is the company has to focus on the resources. Resources do not come down to just equipment or machines or receiving orders. The couriers, the workers themselves are resources that the company needs to maximize and use appropriately. Just some alternatives. The amount to hire another courier would be cheaper than paying 18 hours of overtime every week. The morale of the current couriers will go up to do with less stress and physical tiredness. Some days we pick up over 200 boxes. That's tiring, demanding on our bodies. That can get pretty old if you have 2 or 3 days like that back to back with no help. It's a lot to do. The company will not have to turn down any jobs due to the lack of resources or manpower if there was a 4th courier. That comes back to the high supply and demand that the company has come across, because the company is very well known, but we just don't have the resources, the manpower to fulfill the jobs all the time like we should. Also, profits and credibility will continue to increase by large numbers, all due to bringing on a 4th driver onto the team. That will greatly increase everyone's bottom line. It's all about perspective. I would suggest that the management and office staff do rotations for ride-alongs with the couriers so they can see the high level of demand and long days that we deal with on a daily basis. This also is education for the couriers and the office staffs themselves, for they might see something that could make their job easier and ours as well. So that's just like a team effort. We can see both sides of the coin, and we can get suggestions, and we can implement them, and we can make the company a smoother transition and a better transition. These are just a couple benefits for hiring a fourth driver. It'll be more profitable, bottom line, for the company. Happier and less overworked couriers. Larger area can be covered, which means more customers. You will get positive feedback and more exposure for the company, and it saves money on the overtime costs, which will take away from your profits at the end of the year. Now, I know there are always some concerns, or you have to look at the downside or risks in any situation, and I've already done that for you. This is some risks that I've came across myself that I think you would like to know. You have to risk how long the new hire will stay at the company. Maybe the new hire won't work out and he'll be gone in 2 weeks, and then you have to go start the hiring process all over again. That is a possibility. Another possibility is the effectiveness of each source that the company uses to generate candidates. So you have to be smart when you post a job on the website. You don't want to waste a lot of money posting a job. There's resources such as Craigslist, there's YouTube, or there's Indeed, there's LinkedIn. Those are all free platforms that you can use to advertise to get this position filled quickly and with a high level character that can fulfill the job. Also, another risk is the time it takes for the new hire to become productive in the new role. Now, with any new role, there is a learning curve, but this job isn't really that difficult, so the learning curve is about 2 weeks. After that, the carrier should be pretty confident in the job, and there should be no hiccups. We really don't do anything difficult. The other couriers can help answer questions, so it's pretty much like a on-the-job training, and then you also get assistance from the other veteran workers as well. So I really thank you for your time to sit down and listen to my pitch. I strongly urge you take this proposal with all seriousness. It's time to stop being stagnant and begin to evolve with the times that the company is dealing with. Thank you.